wait for people to join. So this is a bit spontaneous, but I had free time. There's a ginger cat running across the road. So yeah, free time. Never have free time. I got free time, so I thought, what do? I go live. Hi everyone, and it's later than normal, so hopefully some people who can't normally join do join. But yeah, spontaneous, random, yay. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to get ready, but I don't even have a copy of what I'm gonna make. A copy of what I'm gonna make is here. So, even though I shared these the other day, I haven't sent them out yet. I'm a bad demonstrator. Well, let's not go into that, but yeah, I'm a bad demonstrator. But my customer thank you cards, I'm gonna make them live with you today because, as I said, I've got free time. Hi everyone, let's say hi. Estelle's here. Hi. Hello. Greetings. I lost track then. I just blanked out. Martha's here as well. Hi Martha. So, I don't know about you. Lots of people were saying it's very autumnal, this colour palette. But I quite like it. And honestly, I've had this sunset for a while. And I was a bit like, but we're going to do something with it. So let's just get started. I'm not going to waste time. Where's my trimmer? It's there. So I'm going to flip you around. Excuse the mess on my windowsill and all my work stuff pushed to the side. I just wanted natural light. So yeah, I'm going to flip you around and get started. That was my work mobile. Can we just comment about what a brick it is? Everybody at work has a nice Samsungs, and there's me with a Nokia 33 whatever. So this card is created using the back-to-back Blossom stamp set. So this stamp set's fab because even though you've got all these stamps, it's actually only 13 stamps because they're reversible. So you can use both the front, which is the linear image, and the solid black. Oh, Martha, you do. I don't know. Honestly, it's fab. Like, I don't know why I haven't been using this all along. But yeah, it's fab. So these coordinate, he says, together, but they don't line up perfectly. So it's really cool. What I am going to do, I've just moved my blocks there. I'm going to bring in my trimmer and I'm going to start with my card base. So I'm actually using Cajun Craze, which, I'm going to be honest, I don't think I've ever used Cajun Craze as a card base before. So this is the first time for everything. So I'm doing a standard top fold card. So I always cut at 10.5 centimetres. Okay, so I have 2 card bases from one sheet of A4. So if you're going to use both as card bases, you could always score first and then cut. However, I can use that for scraps if needs be. So then I'm going to flip it round. And then I'm going to line it up to just past the 14.8. So 14.85 or just past it. There's no need to be too precise. It's handmade after all. So that's my card base. I'm going to just grab a bone folder. You should see the mess either side of me. It is ridiculous. Hi, thank you so much. So as I said, card base of Cajun Craze. You are going to need a matted layer of basic white. Went to say whisper white then. So you might notice that on all of my cards I tend to use this matted layer, and normally it's tone on tone, so it could be Cajun Craze with Cajun Craze. Can I show the stamp set again? Absolutely. It's back to Blossoms, which is here. So it's a two-step, well, it's not two-step stamping, but it's a reversible. So this blodge is the reverse of this image here. It's fab. And actually, I'm going to zoom in a little bit because you can't see. Zoom out a little bit. That will do. So, as I was saying, all my matted layers always measure the same. So, it's kind of like a default for me. So, I always do it at 9.5 centimetres by 13.8. And that just gives me half a centimetre the whole way round the card. He says if you can get it in the middle. Okay, so it's just an easy way to elevate your project. It's so simple. So that's that, and that's where we're primarily going to be doing our stamping. I am going to need, he says, an extra piece of Whisper White. Can you technically reverse any clear stamp? Now this is a good question. Shall we see? I have got the Ornate Greetings stamp set, which is a mess. But, so let's grab a thanks and a block. So it does stick, or that one sticks. Stamping it, I feel like that's more tacky than these stamps. I don't know. It's hard to say, but it's designed in order for you to reverse it. Try it, give it a go, let me know and see how it turns out for you. I'd be interested to find out. So, with our Whisper White matted layer, you are going to need your Cajun Craze ink, your Blushing Bride ink, Petal Pink, and Old Olive. I did try with Mossy Meadow, however I didn't like it. I preferred Old Olive with this. And let's get our blocks. So you're going to want something to clean as you go, because quite frankly, swapping them around can be quite of a pain. So if you're doing lots of these like I did, I'd stamp all of one, then go back and stamp the other. So let's just grab my stamps and grab them out. So I'm going to use all of these ones here. So 2 little leaves and the 3 flowers. I'm going to stamp the blobs first, in the technical terms. So I've lined up the linear image onto my block. And then do the same with the other 3. Please excuse the state of my blocks as well. Blocks are for use, not for cleaning. Let's move them over. So, I started mine with the Cajun Craze. So I'm just going to ink that up. Now, it is a solid block. Okay, it's a solid block of colour. So when you lay this down, it might not be perfect, and that's fine. What I am going to do is my foam mat, just pop this underneath, like so. And I'd always recommend stamping onto something soft when you're using your photopolymer stamps. You just get a slightly better impression. So I'm just going to aim for here and stamp it slightly off. So because it's a solid image, I'm just going to leave it there so the ink is absorbed into the paper a little bit before lifting off like so. And there it is. Is it easy to line up afterwards if you blob first? Personally, I think so. But again, it doesn't line up perfectly. So if it doesn't line up, it was supposed to be like that. if that makes sense. So I'm just going to clean that off with my shim, and then I can flip that round because I'm only going to stamp that the once. Then I'm going to go in with my smaller kind of unopened flower, and that's going to be in Petal Pink. So again, I've got the blob side, and I'm going to ink that up and then pop that just to the side, like so. Hold it there for a moment. I'm not pushing down overly hard because we have that foam mat underneath, but I'm just giving it the opportunity for the ink to seep into the card. Oh, bless you. No, it doesn't line up, but it's not supposed to line up, so you're absolutely fine. And I think this is very much kind of a style thing. Some people can't stand it when things don't line up. I personally, one of them. However, I don't mind it so much in this case. I think when it's supposed to not line up, it looks okay. So I've just flipped that round, ready to do the rest of my stamping. Now, this kind of smaller flower, I'm going to stamp that on my scrap piece, and I'm going to use Blushing Bride. Should really close up my Petal Pink. So I'm going to ink that up and stamp that down. Now I'm being generous with the space around my image because I know it's not going to line up perfectly, and when I fussy cut it out later, I just want to make sure I have enough room. Okay. So that's the flowers all done. Just flip this round. I don't think I cleaned that. No, I didn't. It's clean now. So flip that round and pop that down. And then all that's left is our little leaves. I'm going to rummage for a clear block 4 or 2. So again, solid side first. And now I'm using an array of blocks as well. It doesn't really matter. But I'm using these 2 skinnier ones. So this one here and this one here. And the reason for that is I felt that they worked really well together on the project. Just kind of going off at different angles. It's just style over substance, I suppose. So I am just going to ink that up. And now I'm just going to stamp all of these where I want them. Stamp this one slightly off. Turn this one round. And I want one here. And I'm not worried about white space either. So if there is some white space, so be it. Now, where did this one go? This one kind of went here. Now, I didn't ink that up enough. It's a bit speckly, but hey, it's part of the hand stamped. So clean that off and turn it round. And then finally, just this one. So where I've got it going this way, I'm going to go it this way now, if that makes sense. Like so. And I think my old olive needs re-inking. But then, as I say, it's been 3 years and I've never re-inked it. So that's not a good thing. Like to keep your ink pads nice and juicy. So it's as simple as that for the reverse stamping. I'm just going to flip. It's a good job it was clean, otherwise I think I would have cried. Flip that round, and now I can do all my stamping in black. And for my black stamping, I am just going to use Memento. It's nice and quick and easy. Why wouldn't you? So ink up my linear image. And then, like I said, it's not designed to line up perfectly. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, just so you can see. So when I lie the image over the top, you can see it's already poking out. So it's just a matter of finding where you're happy with it and popping it down. And I didn't stamp that very well at all. Let's see if I can line it up. Or am I going to completely hash it up? The concentration then. Yeah, I've messed that up. We're going to ignore it and pretend like it's okay. And I'm just not going to send it to anybody. So, let's carry on our stamping. So with this one, you can see I always go by this tail bit, is this tail bit here. So if I line that up, like so, but you can see that stamped better. Why couldn't the other one stamp like that? It's not designed to line up. So this bit here is actually this bit here because it's reversed. So it's not designed. It's great. Well, it's designed so it doesn't line up even. Do you know what we could do? We can stamp our solid here. Like so. And then just stamp another one and cover it up. So let's ink this up again. Make sure it's nice and juicy. And then stamp that. Like so. So what I'll do now to fix that is I'll just fussy cut this out and use that to cover it. There we go. Things happen for a reason, as they say. So what else have we got to do? We need to stamp our unopened flowers. Let's just ink that up and pop that down. And again, this is something you can do so quick and easy. Like, this isn't going to take me long. It's taking me longer because I'm stood here talking to you, if that makes sense. Sometimes you have to. So with the leaves, as we've rotated it, this is this one, but we've rotated it so it doesn't actually fit in perfectly. But what you can do is just stamp the opposite side. So we are using the back of this stamp as the front, as the base for this one, if that makes sense. Just because, personally, for me, I think it looks better as opposed to having it completely the opposite way. Maybe it was designed like that, who knows. So, that's that. Let's just do this one. And then this leaf. This leaf. And I think it's quite freeing when these stamps don't have to line up. So let's just pop that away for now. Where's my paper snips? I was trying to do some crafting on my lunch today at work with, have I got it to hand, one of the new stamp sets. the Etched in Nature stamp set, I was trying to use this little butterfly to create a project. And again, using Cajun Craze because clearly I'm obsessed. So with these, I am just going to fussy cut them out. Save that for later. Now, excuse my cutting because I am live, so it's not going to be perfect. And I'm not going to invest as much time as I probably would normally in making sure it's beautiful. But it is equally stressing me out trying to do it live and get it nice and perfect. See, that's already gone wrong. Who here enjoys fussy cutting? I think a lot of people either love it or they hate it. Personally, I love it. However, I never used to like it. I used to be... Well, I just used to hate it. But it comes in good when you can't stamp properly. Now, this really isn't even, but it'll do. Let's just get that done. And smooth like so. So that's going to hide my boo-boo. It will hide it, I promise. But see, it already looks better. Problem solved. So onto our little smaller one. Let's quickly fussy cut this one out. Oh, hi Tim. See, Tim's with me. He likes fussy cutting. There was a card for Stampin, the Fancy Friday group. It's over on Instagram, so it's Fancy Friday or at Fancy Friday. My battery's dying. You should go check it out. We do fun monthly challenges where we create projects to that challenge and share them. And I did one in So Saffron and I fussy cut a load of flowers out for that. And yeah, that was distressing. But so worth it. Fussy cut this out as quickly as possible. Again, Stampin' Up couldn't do dies with this because it's not designed to line up, so it's not going to be perfect every time. But that's going to be popped there, and voila, it's that simple. So, where's my adhesive? I'm going to pop this down with Tombow because I didn't really want any dimension to it. I'm going to pop that like so. Try to hide as much as possible. And then I'm just going to cut off the rest. Okay. So as that's all my stamping done, I'm going to get rid of this because it's leaving horrible marks on the back. Not that anybody's going to see the back, but I know it's there. So, grabbing some dimensionals. I'm going to pop one on the back, just in the middle of our flower. And then pop that down on our project like so. Now, I've got a slight little overhang, just out of preference. It's completely up to you. If you wanted to fill this white space a little bit more, add more leaves. In the set, you have got this kind of stem that you could quite easily slot in just to fill that space. Or even little rosebuds. I don't think it's a rose, but it's some type of bud. But that's super cute. So, that's that. Let me zoom back out now my stamping's done. And what do I do next? Let's attach to our card base. Again, Cajun Craze, one colour that I don't often use, but now obsessed with for some reason. On the back of our matted layer, I'm going to pop some dimension or dimensionals to create some dimension. Now, the more the merrier, I always say. But because I'm live, I am just going to do the bare minimum. And I've got one too many. Rip these off. And put them straight onto the floor. You know, my acrylic blocks are causing a horrible shadow. And last but not least, like so. And then it's just a matter. So when putting a base on, I always line up the top corners to roughly so the three sides are equal. I apologise if you can hear my belly rumble. And then pop that down, and it's relatively going to be straight, and it's relatively going to be equal. The bottom's a bit big, but you can chop a little bit off. It's fine. And this is what I actually do. I am such a terrible crafter for literally just, if it doesn't work, let's find a way to fix it, instead of throw anything out. So you are going to need some linen thread, and as I said earlier, we're using the ornate thanks, which is a mess, I'm aware, but it's such a beautiful set with all these different sentiments. Like, I'm just using the "you're amazing" just on its own. However, you can have thanks, you're amazing, thanks, so grateful, you're amazing, my friend, thanks, or thank you, my friend, why, thank you. It goes in so many ways. It's a fab set to have. And I'm just going to pick that up with an acrylic block, G, if you want to know. And where's that whisper white I had earlier? So I'm going to stamp this in Memento as well, just because it's quick and easy. You could always do it in Cajun Craze or one of our other colours that we've used. Any would be grand, but I quite like it. And I'm just gonna stamp that down like so, and then just bring in my trimmer. Now I'm gonna line up the top of the wording with the inside part. I don't know if I can zoom in. So I'm lining. Have I got a piece of black? I have. So this is the inside edge. My belly is so rumbling. I hope you can't hear that. It's so embarrassing. I'm going to line up the wording with that, just so I know it's straight. And you can see from the piece I've cut off that it wasn't straight. And then just run that back through, and I'm going to line up the bottoms of the G's and the Y's with this side now of a Blade Runner. And then I'm just going to snip off the ends like so. Just to make it, oh, you're not in, there you go, kind of straight. And then I can zoom it back out now. That's just going to pop up on dimensionals, my card's upside down, across our card like so. So now I need minis, or I just need offcuts. So let's grab two. and pop them on the back like so. Now I'm purposely leaving this area clear, and the reason for that is I'm going to add in my twine after. So pop that into place, and then with my twine just try to unkink it a little bit. Do a nice big bow. And cut loose. Now you can always cut it down after, but I just like to line it up and make a final cut before, and then that's just going to slip under our loose end of our sentiment like so, and just sit behind quite nicely. And then I can just lift this up. I'm going to put a little bit of liquid adhesive behind it and behind that section of our sentiment, so it will hold it nicely in place. Now just to finish, it's just a matter of adding a little bit of bling that I don't know where it is. Here. Again, I'm such a boy. Like, look how messy it is. But hey ho. So I was going to use the gilded gems, however I thought they were a bit too big and chunky, so I quite like these metallic pearls, as they just nicely finish off a project without there being too much overkill. And it is as simple. Well, he says as simple as that. I did make a boo-boo, but don't we all? But yeah, there you go. That's the project created. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please just drop me a message afterwards. I love hearing from you all. You're all fabulous. But yeah, let's turn you around and we will finish off with my face and the fact I need a haircut, but I'm finally booked in. I'm so happy. But yeah, that's my customers' thank you cards. It's super simple, super easy. It's using the back-to-back Blossoms stamp set, which, I'm completely honest, I was a bit like, to start with, but then I got playing and it's super cute. So I hope you love it. I hope you give this stamp set a go, because you should. It's super cute. Love to you all. Bye.